Hello and welcome to CVR News Network. You're watching CVR English, and these are the details in World 360 with me, Sandeep. President Donald Trump arrived in Central Texas Friday to assess the devastation caused by the recent floods that claimed over 120 lives. The disaster struck along the Guadalupe River just a week ago, leaving widespread damage. It's a horrible thing, Trump said as he began his visit. He and First Lady Melania Trump landed at Kelly Field in San Antonio shortly after noon local time. Their schedule includes meeting with the local officials, first responders, and flood survivors. The visit aims to bring federal attention and support to hard-hit communities. Relief efforts continue as residents began to long road to recovery.
I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this. This is a bad one. We just visited with incredible families that, look, they've been devastated. They lost their child or two children, and just hard to believe what, I've never seen anything like it. A little narrow river that becomes a monster, and that's what happened. The search for the missing continues. The people that are doing it are unbelievable people. That you couldn't get better people than this anywhere, Christy, right? Anywhere in the world, you couldn't get better people. And they're doing the job like I don't think anybody else could, frankly. And I want to thank them. I want to thank all of these great first responders who raced into very grave danger. We have some people that were incredible. The single Coast Guard rescue crew saved an incredible 169 children at Camp Mystic. 169. So we've deployed over 400 first responders and assisted or enabled more than 1,500 rescues. Amazing, 1,500. Customs and Border Protection and the U.S. Coast Guard have deployed numerous search and rescue crews, and they're all over the territory. FEMA has deployed multiple emergency response units, and FEMA has been really headed by some very good people. We have some good people running FEMA. It's about time. We're also taking historic action to ensure that such a nightmare never happens again. And we're going to look and see how can a thing like this, they could say it's 100-year. Somebody said it's a 500-year event. It doesn't. We're not going to let a thing like this happen again, where it can wreak this kind of devastation. You'll probably have to do that. You'll probably come up with something very unique because there is no system right now. There's been a thing like this has never happened that anybody knows. Certainly not to this extent, but I know the governor and everybody is working on it. They're meeting and
A Russian drone strike hit the southern Ukrainian city of Odesa on Friday, injuring 9 people, according to local governor. The attack caused fires in multiple buildings across the area. Among the damage was a horse refuge, where beloved white mare named Kamelia was killed. Stable's owner, Yulia Vasakina, mourned the loss of the horse with tears. Emergency crews were seen working to extinguish the fires caused by the strike. Nearby, a car repair shop mechanic team and army veteran narrowly escaped injury during the attack. The incident highlights the ongoing risks faced by civilians amid the conflict. Police have launched a hate incident investigation after a bonfire topped with a refugee depicting channel migrants was set alight in Moigashale County terrain. The towering bonfire featured a boat carrying mannequins dressed in life jackets alongside the banners reading Stop the Boats, Veterans Before Refugees, and Stop Illegal Immigration. An Irish tricolor flag was also placed on the structure. The bonfire was lit Thursday night as a part of Unionist tradition ahead of the July 12th Protestant Loyal Order parades. Despite police investigation, the incident has a hate crime. Politicians and religious leaders condemned the display as a racist, threatening, and offensive. The Moigashale Bonfire Association defended it as an expression of disgust at illegal immigration. Community leaders called for the respect and unity amid growing tensions. Federal agents conducted immigration raids Thursday on state-licensed marijuana nurseries in coastal southern California, sparking confirmations and confrontations with protesters. The raids targeted two glass house farms locations in Carpinteria and Camarillo, where immigration and customs enforcement agents, backed by National Guard troops, arrived in military-style vehicles. Dozens of migrant rights activists gathered, leading to tense standoffs on rural roads as videos of the event spread on social media. Glass House Farms, a major cannabis company, said it's fully complied with the search warrants issued to federal agents. The raids highlight ongoing tensions surrounding immigration enforcement in agricultural communities. Officials continue to monitor the situation as protesters persist. At 8 a.m. in the middle of the English Channel, a French warship radioed to demand the return of life jackets it had given to migrants. Nigel Farage, fishing nearby, had just caught his eighth mackerel when he observed an unusual scene. The migrants had set off from Wissant Bridge and the northern French coast in the flimsy dinghy equipped with 40 life jackets handed out by the French vessel. The warship was escorting the dinghy towards British waters and the UK border force ship Hurricane, a catamaran waiting to rescue the migrants. What Farage expected to be a routine handover instead revealed the complexities of managing migrant crossings in the channel.
We've seen at first hand a typical day, I'm sad to say, but a typical day on the Channel when it's calm. We've seen a dinghy that's left the French beaches, far from being stopped by the French Navy actually gave them 40 life jackets because they were short of life jackets. They then escorted them all the way off the channel. We then had Border Force, Hurricane, a Border Force boat, come out and wait on a 12-mile line to meet them. Border Force then launched two inflatable ribs of its own. The French boat then launched their rib. We then saw another huge boat arrive coming out of Ramsgate, and that boat's employed just to pick up the empty dinghies, can you believe? And we then saw 78 people climbing up onto the Border Force vessel. 78 people, one woman, 3 children, and 74 young, undocumented adult males. And what we saw was the sheer size, scale, cost of the operation. What we also saw was how calm and controlled, almost as if the two governments just agreeing that this is the normal practice and it can continue. Frankly, it's outrageous. I think we were privileged to be out there today, to have the nice weather, on the very same day when Starmer is going to accept some ridiculously bad deal from the French president, Napoleon. Oh no, sorry, he's not Napoleon. But you know what I mean. It's almost as if the French are telling us what we can do, as if we've lost a war. Well, we haven't. We voted Brexit to get back control of our borders so that we could choose who comes into the country. And I just sense that with the footage and with what you're going to write about this and what you've seen today as well, there is a growing sense of not frustration, but genuine public anger at what's going on.
And what do you think the governments need to do about it? What would be your prognosis?
They absolutely have to declare a national security emergency. We have no idea who these 74 young men were this morning. Some could be terrorists, some will commit sexual crimes, and they will. We know that from the Casey report. Others, within 48 hours, will probably be working illegally in the economy, perhaps for crime gangs or what else. And this is making our country less safe. The first role of government is to protect its people. We cannot allow these. We've seen at first hand a typical day, I'm sad to say, but a typical day on the Channel when it's calm. We've seen a dinghy that's left the French beaches, far from being stopped by the French Navy actually gave them 40 life jackets because they were short of life jackets. They then escorted them all the way off the channel.
U.S. First Lady Melania Trump expressed her deepest sympathy to the victims of the devastating floods in Central Texas during her visit. She promised to return the affected communities and shared that she received a special bracelet from girls at the summer camp destroyed in the deadly disaster. Melania emphasized that our nation is grieving with you as recovery efforts continue. Her visit aims to offer comfort and support to those impacted by the tragedy. Officials and survivors welcomed the show of solidarity amid ongoing relief work.
My deepest sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls. Deepest sympathy from all of us to the community, to everybody who lost a loved one. We are grieving with you. Our nation is grieving with you. We just met with the wonderful families. We pray with them, we hug, we hold hands. They shared the stories, and I met beautiful young ladies. They gave me this special bracelet from the camp in honor of all of the little girls that they lost their lives. So we are here to honor them and also to give the support, help, and I will be back I promise to them, and I just pray for them and giving them my strength and love.
Thank you, honey. It's very nice. Thank you.
My deepest sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls.
The US State Department is dismissing more than 1,300 employees Friday as a part of the sweeping reorganization plan under the Trump administration. Critics warn the move could undermine America's global leadership and weaken efforts to address international threats. Scenes of departing staff carrying their belongings were reported across department offices. The reorganization aims to streamline operations but has sparked concern among the diplomats and experts. The administration insists the changes will improve efficiency and focus. The impact of the foreign policy and diplomatic missions remains to be seen. Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama has arrived in Leh, Ladakh to begin month-long stay. His visit is eagerly awaited by followers and local communities. The spiritual leader is expected to engage in religious discourses and community activities during his time in the region. Authorities are making arrangements to ensure his stay is smooth and secure. Dalai Lama's presence is seen as a source of inspiration and peace for many in Ladakh.
Kamelia, 지 타고도 탐색 잡았으니 타를 구시우시 지금 남셔 돈하게 매나야 강담 차도 천디가 승비 시디 용야 지 지수가 나로리야 지 원래 전에 시디다 강담국의 투부 용야 지수 천든지 디기드모지 용야 야, 그거는 지금 사기 저의 그 가정이 전에 예대로디 야우시를 했어. 그래서 제냠린 시기여가 가다 마시고 먹고 요래. 가다 내리 생이고 들으면 호투 전에 지금 저기 사기가 저 생각을 해보던 제니 예딩이 시무지 서울 가다 사기가 저 Kamelia, 지 타고도 탐색 잡았으니 타를 구시우시 지금 남셔 돈하게 매나야 강담 차도 천디가 승비 시디 용야 지 지수가 나로리야 지 원래 전에 시디다 강담국의 투부 용야 지수 천든지 디기드모지 용야 야, 그거는 지금 사기 저의 그 가정이 전에 예대로디 야우시를 했어. 그래서 제냠린 시기여가 가다 마시고 먹고 요래. 가다 내리 생이고 들으면 호투 전에 지금 저기 사기가 저 성과를 리포트는 제인이 예정했지. 시무직 성.
Colombian authorities announced Friday the arrest of an alleged leader of the Italian mafia operating in Latin America. The suspect is accused of orchestrating large-scale cocaine shipments and managing trafficking routes from Colombia to Europe. Officials say the arrest is a major blow to the powerful criminal network, which has long used South America as a hub for international drug operations. The suspect's identity has not been publicly disclosed, but authorities confirmed coordination with Italian law enforcement in the operation. Investigations into the broader network are ongoing.
Un delincuente requerido por los delitos de narcotráfico y solicitado en extradición. Se aplica la circular roja de Interpol a este delincuente que forma parte de una organización transnacional de narcotráfico, de la mafia italiana denominada 'Ndrangheta, una persona buscada por 196 países. Un delincuente requerido por los delitos de narcotráfico y solicitado en extradición. Se aplica la circular roja de Interpol a este delincuente que forma parte de una organización transnacional de narcotráfico, de la mafia italiana denominada 'Ndrangheta, una persona buscada por 196 países.
Demonstrators released White House as a symbol of peace during a rally protesting recent immigration raids in California. The crew cheered as the birds took flight before marchers moved towards the city hall. The event followed federal enforcement actions targeted cannabis nurseries, which sparked outrage among the migrant rights activists. Organized in response to what they call unjust targeting the immigrant communities, the rally drew wide support. Protesters carried signs and chanted for reform, demanding dignity and protection for the migrant workers. The peaceful demonstration emphasized unity and resistance through symbolic gesture.
At the end of the day, we're not the violent ones. We're not the ones that showed up with military equipment yesterday and tear gas canisters and pointing guns at people. That wasn't us. That wasn't our... I brought you guys a gift. This is what they brought us yesterday. That is what they met us with yesterday. That is what they shot at us with yesterday. That is what we choked on yesterday. That was our tear gas that they hit us with. The rubber bullets that they hit us with multiple times throughout the day. There was multiple family members in that crowd yesterday that were just desperately trying to get a word of their friends and family inside that facility with no answers and just met with violence nonstop. We're not the violent ones. All we want is peace, but we will fight for that peace every day, nonstop until we get it.
Massive explosions lit up the night sky over the Gaza Strip early Saturday as Israel intensified its military operations against Hamas. Fiery orange flashes were seen across the skyline, followed by rising plumes of smoke. The strikes marked another night of heavy bombardment in the ongoing conflict. Residents reported loud blasts and shaking buildings as tensions in the region remain high. Israeli forces say the attacks targeted militant infrastructure while humanitarian concerns continue to grow. International calls for restraint have so far failed to halt the escalating violence. Peruvian police clashed with minors on Friday in Ayacucho after days of highway blockades protesting the cancellation of the mining permits. The demonstrators had blocked sections of Pan American Highway, disrupting transport and trade. Riot police used tear gas to disperse the crowds, leading to chaotic scenes and rising tensions. The miners argue the government's decision threatens their livelihood and demand immediate reinstatement of permits. Authorities say they were working on a resolution but urged protectors to avoid violence. The standoff highlights ongoing unrest in Peru's mining regions.
Ese era el más fuerte, pero a la mierda, me dieron piedra. Ya la gente arrinconándose. Ay, Dios, nos dispararon. Ay, Dios.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced it Friday that U.S. military aid shipments to Ukraine have resumed following a brief pause in weapons deliveries last week. Speaking from Kiev, Zelensky welcomed the restoration of the support, calling it vital for Ukraine's defense against ongoing Russian aggression. The resumed aid includes ammunition and military equipment critical to frontline operations. The pause has raised concerns among the Ukrainian officials and international allies. Zelensky expressed gratitude to the U.S. for its continued partnership and reaffirmed Ukraine's determination to resist invasion.
Ми маємо політичні сигнали найвищого рівня, хороші сигнали, в тому числі від Сполучених Штатів Америки, від наших європейських друзів. За всіма доповідями постачання відновлено. Продовжимо працювати наступному тижні з американською стороною на військовому рівні. Зокрема, наші військові з генералом Келлогом. Ми готуємо і нові європейські оборонні пакети. Ми очікуємо найближчим часом сильних кроків і щодо санкцій проти Росії.
President Donald Trump toured flood-ravaged areas in Texas, expressing shock at the scale of destruction left by the recent storms. He said while surveying the damage, Trump praised local officials and first responders for their swift and courageous efforts in rescue and recovery operations. Trump met the survivors and emergency crews.
We just were making a little tour of the area. It's hard to believe the devastation. Trees that are 100 years old just ripped out of the ground. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this. This is a bad one. We just visited with incredible families that, look, they've been devastated. They lost.
Kurdish separatist fighters with the Kurdistan Workers' Party (PKK) began laying down their weapons in northern Iraq on Friday, marking a symbolic and historic step in peace process with Turkey. The disarmament ceremony is the first tangible move following the group's May announcement to disband and renounce armored struggle after decades of conflict. The shift follows a February call from the jailed PKK leader Abdullah Öcalan for the group to convene a congress and formally end hostilities. The peace gesture brings hope for an end to 4 decades of violence and instability in the region.
Abdullah Öcalan'ın 19 Haziran 2025 günü açıklamasında dile getirdiği çağrıya cevap olarak gelmiş bulunmaktayız. Barış ve demokratik toplum sürecinin pratik başarısı için bir iyi niyet ve kararlılık adımı olarak ve bundan sonra özgürlük, demokrasi.
That's the end of the bulletin. Keep watching CVR News English.